On the second day of the Festival of Education, we're talking to Sugata Mitra. Now, Sugata, you have helped build a school in the cloud, which is an educational online space. How is it that you think technology can be better used in our school system?
Well, the school in the cloud, unfortunately, the name gives an impression which is not quite what it is.
Okay.
The school in the cloud is a space within school where the internet is available everywhere.
Okay.
I'm trying to say that schools so far, they have basically been in denial about the internet, as though it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
So don't bring your phones, don't do anything, you can't Google anybody during a lecture, that kind of thing. So the school in the cloud is a space where you can do these things, where you can search for things, where you can work with your friends, where you can question what you heard or read yourselves, that kind, where you can talk to people on the electronic medium. So what I'm trying to say for educational institutions like this one, for example, is that its outer shape and size may not change. Perhaps doesn't need to. They're wonderful buildings, but what happens inside does need to change. I mean, if books and paper and pens and so on were technology of one day, there must have been schools which said, let us introduce paper, let us allow students to bring their own paper,
Yeah.
etc. So why are we so scared of smartphones?
Yeah.
Everybody is dreadfully scared of smartphones in educational institutions, because you feel that you are threatened, you the teacher. But why should you be? Why shouldn't you say, tell me something that I've said wrong,
Yeah.
and let the students do the job?
Yeah, I mean, I guess many teachers and also parents feel as if things like social media take focus away from school and allow pupils to kind of go on social media rather than, I don't know, do their homework or be involved in lessons. Do you think then perhaps that technology should be used more, but when used productively, or do you think that we should just be allowed free access to it?
I think when you limit access, then you get excessive social media.
Oh, really?
I don't think that if you, in my experience, particularly with 9, 10, 11-year-olds, if you give them full free access all the time, they don't do social media all the time.
No.
They do it for only a part of the time. And I would suspect that's true for most of us. I mean, I use the internet a lot, but do I use it only for social media? No. Sometimes social media sparks off other stuff. Like somebody on social media says, do you know that, so-and-so tribe doesn't know what sugar is? And the first thing you do is you start Googling that and
Yeah.
to see what. So, I think we're unnecessarily worried about social media.
Yeah. I know that you're also, I believe you've done some research into learning and memory, am I correct?
Yes, a little
Yeah.
bit.
So, do you think that the education system and the examination system that we have in the UK and abroad, do you think that it is a good test of knowledge and intellectual breadth, or do you think it's a test of memory and learning?
Well, I don't think it's a black and white situation. First of all, I think we should recognize the fact that British education has influenced education throughout the world,
Yeah.
which is a remarkable achievement. But it was designed for a time which has passed. So what was that time? That was the time where if you had to solve a problem, you needed to have the capability to do so with no assistance of any kind. So if you're off on a ship from Southampton and you're sailing into an unknown river in an unknown continent and you get stuck somewhere, you need your algebra and you need your astronomy and you need all sorts of things to figure things out. But are you ever likely to be in that situation?
Google Maps.
So today's answer is, if I am in trouble, where's my phone and
Yeah.
is it charged?
Yeah.
So why can we not factor that in, is what I'm saying, particularly in the exam.
Yeah.
The exam tests for survival.
Okay.
It's like a Robinson Crusoe thing. that you know, what would you do? You might have seen that movie Martian, which I like very much,
Yes.
which I like very much, but which I think is a very impractical situation. That you know, you have to science your way out of things. You don't have to science your way out of things. You have to Google your way out of things. That's more like what will happen.
Yeah.
So why don't we encourage learners to do that, so that they know how to do it properly?
Yeah.
You know.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
All right. Okay. Thanks.